Hey, everybody. Well, it happened. Las Vegas was approved to receive an NBA team and expects to have that team as a going concern playing and winning games in 2028. That's not far from now. In fact, it reminds me, this whole matter, of when Magic Johnson was seen, I believe, last week in Las Vegas with Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. So, hey, Magic isn't there to talk about hoops. Magic is there to talk about teams that shoot hoops. None in Las Vegas, which he wants to change. Will Magic Johnson be the person that brings NBA basketball to Las Vegas? Looks like it. But what I want to talk about with everybody right now is something that really rankles me. Before I even get to that, let's not forget that Seattle is going to get the replacement for the Supersonics. I repeat, Seattle gets the replacement for the Supersonics. And so that the Seattle Supersonics became the Oklahoma City Thunder should have never happened in a perfect world, but the simple fact that it did happen means this world is anything but perfect. Okay? Anything but perfect. And so now we have to take a look at this and say, hey, how you doing, by the way? Please like and subscribe. Talking about Las Vegas getting approved for the NBA expansion, why Las Vegas makes sense for the NBA, and also Oakland too. All right, you would say, huh, what? Just work with me for a second. But let me get this mention of Seattle out of the way. Everybody knows that the Seattle region can handle basketball because it's done so for so many years, had legendary Supersonics teams with legendary coaches like the late Kenny Wilkins. And again, that, 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 there was a situation that took the Seattle Supersonics away from Seattle was horrifying when it happened. I remember when it did, and I thought it was the most un-American thing. For basketball not to be in Seattle was absolutely ridiculous. But when this happened now, no one's questioning Seattle, but the snarky remarks are being made toward Las Vegas because Las Vegas is at a tough time. So someone said to me on another video that I was making that it didn't make sense in their mind for Las Vegas to have an NBA team because they have a small market. Well, that is by an old 20th century measure of TV markets. Now, what do I mean? Very simply this. Back then, there wasn't such a thing as the internet. In fact, the internet was created by a defense organization called DARPA, the acronym of which I'm not going to bother to regurgitate because I'm going to screw it up, in 1994, but really didn't become a really consistently usable thing until I would say 1998. And I remember I made my first website in 1999 for Oakland's effort to get the 2005 Super Bowl into the Coliseum so that Oakland would be the Super Bowl host city for that year. We didn't win. We lost by 8 votes, another story. But my point is, the internet was young, then really young, a baby, and bandwidth was, well, kind of hard to come by at points. But now, today, the internet is a common part of our lives. We have phones that are connected to each other by the internet in our house. So do you. You get the idea. It's a different world. So different that when a event like the Las Vegas Sphere opens up, it attracts the eyeballs of millions of people around the world. What does that do? It promotes Las Vegas. It becomes an extension of the efforts to say, hey, there's something going on in Las Vegas. You need to be here. But guess what? That is an organic occurrence. It's not someone saying we're going to buy a lot of websites or anything. This is people taking pictures of the sphere as it's going off and doing its thing, and people online being wowed by it. Or think of the first 4th of July when when the sphere opened, one of the top 10 traffic generators during the 4th of July was actually in Las Vegas because of the Sphere. All right. So there's that measure. And then there's the simple fact that there are 40 million people on the average that visit Las Vegas. And yeah, you would say, wait a minute, is any visitations down by almost 10%? I would say, yeah, but that's temporary. We know why it's temporary. We know that Las Vegas has been hampered and harmed by the pandemic. We know that Las Vegas has never received the bailout that the Trump administration promised in his first term. We know that Las Vegas has received a great deal of competition from other cities trying to nip at its ankles for a little piece of the gambling pie. And so now the United States gambling situation is such that you can go gambling anywhere in the United States within an hour's drive of a major city. Okay, that's that's where we're at. And so I think there are 146 officially major cities, something like that. That's where we are right now. What does that mean for Las Vegas? It means that it's far less likely, theoretically, that people would visit Las Vegas as opposed to go to those places. But that's where everything changes because Las Vegas is a true resort city. Las Vegas is a true 24-hour city. Where Las Vegas went south, for if you will, was simply that it got too expensive, and people began to view this chase for the ultra rich and super rich person as the end all be all, and totally forgot about the little people that really make Las Vegas go. Well, guess what? Now that basketball is coming back, Las Vegas is going to get those little people and enjoy NBA teams playing in Las Vegas. 15 years ago, Las Vegas did not have a professional sports team. There was no NBA. There was no baseball team that was professional, MLB. And there was, of course, no NBA. Now, by 2028, all three. And really, technically, now all three, because the NBA is saying, hey, look, we want to be in Las Vegas. That's powerful, folks. All right. That is powerful. And for those people out there that say that sports has nothing to do with the economy at all, look, please stop the idiot talk, because that's precisely what it is. Sports brings numbers of what people. Think about it. You have Las Vegas, which is already expert at drawing people and housing people by the thousands, bringing a league that is expert at doing what? Drawing people and housing them to watch their games by the thousands. A win-win. And I remember Mark Davis, the Raider owner, when he was hosting his sponsor party that I was attending in 2019 at CES Las Vegas, said, he pointed outside, we were at the Skyfall Lounge. It's a beautiful place in what was called the Delano. It's now a W Hotel. He's pointing out there like that, and he said, look, take a look at all those lights. That's activation. And what he was talking about was activation of marquees that sell what you're doing. Well, here comes the NBA, another new marquee attraction in a city that loves marquees and that responds to them. And it will come just right after the opening of the Hard Rock Las Vegas, which already is dominating Las Vegas Strip, just already dominating it. Where will this expansion team play is, well, not precisely known. You see a lot of pictures of T-Mobile there, which seats 18,000. But there was a proposal to build another NBA arena / hotel / casino on property right next to the Las Vegas Convention Center. But that project has been mired in controversy for some time. However, the good news is that now that the NBA is saying, yeah, we're coming, all of what was considered fantasy now becomes reality. All of what was considered hard to get financing for now becomes easier to get. The earth has turned, the gravity has shifted toward Las Vegas at a time when it needs it the most. At a time when it needs it the most. The valuation for the team is projected to be between 7 billion to 10 billion. That's right in the area of an NFL team. And so now the NBA, we can officially say, is equal to the NFL with respect to valuations. It may not be with respect to ratings, but with respect to evaluations, it's right there. And what better way to say we're here than to have an opening or an all-star NBA All-Star game in Las Vegas? Wow. I'm telling you, the NBA is going to go nuts in Las Vegas. It's going to be star-studded, just in the way that boxing is treated in Las Vegas. Stars abound, and the NBA is a people league. And what I mean by that is it's multicultural, it's international, and so what you'll see now is a lot more people from different parts of the world because of world basketball in Las Vegas than you've ever seen before. And what does that mean for Las Vegas? Even more hotel stays, even more money. But also, Las Vegas cannot gouge. You cannot price gouge anymore because NBA fans are just you and me, not having a lot of money to spend, having player favorite players, and loving a game that takes, it's very simple. It takes 2 baskets and a ball. That's it, right? Who doesn't love that? And don't forget the WNBA, because where the NBA is, the WNBA will follow. And so the question will become, hey, what will the name? Well, excuse me, the WNBA is already there. Come on, Zenny, shut up. The WNBA, his own team, is owned by Mark Davis. The NBA being in Las Vegas will enhance the value and popularity of the WNBA team. And, I could see a scenario. I don't know if the NBA allows dual ownership with respect to Mark Davis, so maybe he can be involved with Magic Johnson. I need to research that before I comment on that further because I'm not certain of what's allowed. But the simple fact that the NBA is coming to Las Vegas makes it possible. This is exciting. Now, you would say, why did I get jumbled regarding the WNBA? Because commonly in the NBA doesn't go, or rather, wherever there's an NBA team, that NBA team is allowed to establish a WNBA franchise. But see, in Las Vegas, there was never an NBA team. Now there is, all right? And that opens up the question. Since there's the Las Vegas Aces, does the WNBA team in Las Vegas get to have its own WNBA team competing against the Aces? You see, that's an interesting question to bring up. Or does the owner of the WNBA team get to be on the ownership group of the NBA team? All right. See, those are issues that I think are worth talking about, and it would seem have point to a kind of a hopefully a not sticky situation. I think the answer is to have a kind of a cross pollination of ownerships, but which can be worked out, I believe. Not that it would be simple, but I believe it can be worked out. Okay, because again, if I am an NBA owner in Las Vegas, why shouldn't I have the opportunity to start my own WNBA franchise? That would put Las Vegas with 2 WNBA franchises. Okay. Now, would it hurt the Aces? That's a good question. I think the answer is, given that Las Vegas is not huge, it could. But again, you have the level and rate of people visiting Las Vegas that makes that whole question an asterisk. All right. Because you can draw people to Las Vegas if you have, say, 2 of the best WNBA teams, WNBA city, women's basketball. If Las Vegas worked to make itself the capital of women's basketball, then it becomes a different story. Women's basketball museum, women's basketball themed hotels, and so on. Hey, why not? Why not? Great workout places for women that could be used on an international scale. that's another possibility. So when you think of it, all of this started because the NBA said, "Look, we're going in. We're going in." Great. Really exciting development for the NBA. Really exciting development, super exciting development for Las Vegas. I'd love to have Stephen Hill, the head of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, on to talk about this, because I think it's huge for Las Vegas at a time, again, when Las Vegas needs it. And I hope MGM boss Bill Hornbuckle realizes that the NBA saying it wants to be in Las Vegas means that Las Vegas has got to stop gouging the little guy, because the little guy and gal loves the NBA and the WNBA. The numbers are there, no question about it. And by the way, what better way for the Las Vegas expansion team to really take off with a bang if, you know, then drawing Caitlin Clark in as a star of that team? Boy, that would be earth shattering, wouldn't it? Um, don't mean to take anything away from Indiana, but I'm saying there's this bigger issue: promotion and success of the Las Vegas WNBA. Excuse me, I keep doing that, all right, because, well, again, the WNBA the NBA team normally gets to have its own WNBA franchise, but the Las Vegas Aces are already there, and that's owned by Mark Davis. But still, as I think about it, since there would be a complementary organization, but also in a sense a competing organization for basketball money to a degree in the WNBA, I mean, in the NBA versus the WNBA in Las Vegas, why not bring Caitlin Clark in for the Las Vegas Aces to make sure that their revenue flow continues as the NBA comes to town? Something to think about. There's a lot there to unpack. And with apologies, by the way, to the Las Vegas Aces, which, hey, I think buy season tickets to Las Vegas Aces. In WNBA champion 3 years out of the last 4 years. Fascinating record, fascinating team, fascinating owner, team owner who I regard as a friend, and a fascinating story. How are they impacted now that the WNBA is coming? That is a great story. That is a great question. What leads to a great story? All right. Folks, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark, CES Las Vegas News.com. CES Las Vegas News.com. We'll see you.